Hey, Captain Chris Meyer, Central Florida Sight Fishing Charters. And if you're using conventional spinning or fly tackle for your fishing, most of us are going to have a drag on our reel to keep big fish from breaking our line. And it's important that you have that drag set correctly. Now, what I do is inshore saltwater flats fishing. I use spinning tackle and fly tackle, and the drags on my reels are located right here on the top for my spinning reels. There's a little knob right here. You twist this and it tightens or loosens the drags. Some other spinning reels have their drag located down here in the bottom. Conventional reels can have them on the side. Fly reels usually have a little knob on the side, kind of similar than that. That tightens it up. But to keep yourself from breaking fish off, you're going to need to set your drag properly. And when you first start doing it, it's probably better off for you to use a scale. So you're going to need a helper. If you have a scale, like a fish weighing scale, have someone tie the line onto the scale, then you can pull up, put a bend in your rod, pull up on it, and when the line starts coming off the reel, so when you begin to hear that click, get the reading off of that scale. In general, you want 20% of your line's breaking strength. So if I'm using 10-pound braid, which is what this is, I'd want my drag set about 2 pounds. So you're really not going to break off a giant fish if you have your drag set properly. So I could catch a 40-pound fish on this 10-pound line, and at 2 pounds of pressure, it's going to start coming off the spool. After a while, you can just do it by feel. After you set it a few times, then you'll be able to just pull up on it, say, oh, that's too loose, give it a couple of clicks. You can get it where you can feel it comes off just right. But it's much better off when you're first starting to do it using the scale. Now, during the fight, I always have some extra drag that I can stick on my reel at any time, and I'm not going to do that by turning this, because if you turn that too much, it's locked in there, and if you got it down too tight, you're going to break yourself off. Here's my extra drag right here. Here's where I put my extra drag, right there on the spool. I could put one finger on there, I could put 2 fingers on there. If you needed to, you could grab that whole spool, but instantly if I feel that fish surging, I can let it go. So if I have my drag set rather light, and I usually set my drag, no more than 2-3 pounds max, I can add 10 pounds of drag if I want. I can totally grab it, the spool will not turn at all. But as I'm fighting bigger fish, as I pull up, I can just barely palm, it's called palming that spool, touch it lightly with my hand, and if the fish surges, I get my fingers out of the way. So I feel him take off, I get right down on it, crank him back up, let go if I need to. So that's how you can put some extra drag on, but make sure your drag is set properly. Get a scale, set it about 20%, 25%, then you can get a feel, pull some off with your hand, see what that feels like, and pretty soon you'll be able to set them without ever using a scale, and you won't break any fish off.